Hello everyone and welcome to another Tutorial Thursday. My name is Swiss, and for this week we're going to be going over how to maximize your training. This is going to be in regards of training mode and not playing or playing matches and so on and so forth. So if you guys like the content, like and subscribe. And other than that, let's go ahead, let's dive right in and let's get it. So maximizing your training is very important as a player, and it's going to help in regards of being better with your character, building fundamentals, and even just being better in the game altogether outside of that. So the first thing we're going to go over is training mode. Now, I understand that some people don't enjoy training mode. It seems boring. It looks like there's nothing to do. There's not really a lot of options, obviously, but you can maximize it to the best of your ability outside of modding your own Switch to get the mod training pack. Now, when you go into training mode, or what I do is I think, what exactly do I want to do? What do I want to learn? Is it B reversing? You know, is it turn aid? Or like, what exactly do I want to polish up on? Tech, combos, offstage, edge guarding, etc. So if you're playing not only Snake but any other character, and you see like something that someone is doing in a match, right? Like let's say ESAM kept doing these drag down nair combos into up airs and then got it into a back air, or a down B, and then killed him, right? And that's something you want to try out. Obviously you want to do that in training mode just to have the muscle memory and understanding how the combo works before you take it into an actual match. And even in doing so, there's other things too, like with Shogun and Z-nading. You definitely want to like go into training mode and make sure you get the muscle memory needed to where you actually don't have to like look at actually looking at the game or the screen, and then you could implement that into an actual match or whatever, right? So just making sure that you polish up on those things is very important. Because the more that you polish it up to where it becomes muscle memory, the easier it's going to be to do in matches. So that way you don't have to always think about it. And again, training mode can help out with that, and it can also help out with other things. Like if I want to learn how to exploit a certain character's recovery, that's what training mode is for, right? So you can understand how to exploit certain recoveries. You could learn combos, right? What combos works on this character versus this character, what percent does it work at, when does it not work. Obviously the opponent, the computer does not have DI set. It only has like an SDI that you could set, but it's not going to be super useful. I wouldn't say like use it as like a textbook based, like this is it, this is going to work, but more in the lines of you want to think of it as a guide. Like this will work, but with DI it might change up, so you have to be prepared for that. So just keep that in mind too. Now, after that, like once you understand like whatever you're training on, it's very important to go into a match and then try it out. Now, whether it's a computer, a human player, or whoever the case is, I highly recommend, just trying that out immediately in a match just to see if it works or not. And that's one thing that I want to like move into is matches, which is friendlies. When you're playing someone, whether it's online, offline, a friend, or just some random person in Elite Smash or Quick Play or whatever, I would say that you want to have that mentality that you don't care about winning or losing. And the reason I say that is if you focus too much on winning or losing, then you're going to end up not thinking about certain things, in my opinion. Like you're kind of gonna go into autopilot basically, and you're gonna be too caught up in winning that you're gonna just start autopiloting and doing things that you're used to. So it's very important to just keep in mind that your main priority is to try out what you learned, and then applying it, and then seeing if it works or not, and then going from there. And I don't mean like trying it as in just one match. Like you want to try it in multiple matches just to see it. Does this work? Does it not? Is it useful? Is it not? And then going from there. If it does work, you can polish it into your play style, and then if it doesn't work, then you need to go back to the drawing board and just figure out other things mainly. And an example of that would be something like this. So you have to think like, is this combo useful? I don't know. Let's go into a match and try it out. Now, a combo like this, I've only hit once after trying it so many times. So in my opinion, it's going to be a little bit harder to actually land this combo. So it's not something that I would focus on, right? But it is there in case the stars align or whatever the case is. So, you know, that's just an example of like how you want to think when you find out certain things. Or even like if it's matchup dependent, like, oh, let's say I found a way to exploit, you know, Palutena's recovery with like a down air to beat out the teleport or something like that. Or I found out this edge guard. Then, you know, you want to obviously try to find an opponent that uses that character and then just go from there. Or if you have a friend in training mode or a friend close by, you know, you can have them be in training mode and then just help you out, or just do it online or whatever the case is. So you could do that too. But again, this is something that pros tend to say, you know, try not to focus on winning or losing when you're playing online, because one, it's online, and two, there's lag that nobody likes, right? So just do the best of your ability, focus on what you learn, and then decide if it's something that's useful or not. Now, the last thing is just going to be when you're not playing the game, right? And when you're not playing the game, you still have the ability to learn certain things. And that's going to be either watching a character specialist that you use. Like, for example, I use Snake. So let's say I watch Shogun and I find out something that he's using that I don't do. Then I want to try that out. So I can go into training mode, try to play around with it, try to see like if I think it's going to be useful or not, take it to a match, and then pretty much go from there. And that's something that I think would be very, very beneficial. Now, there are some people that don't really need training mode, that you could just go right into a match and just try it out, which is fine. But this is just something, you know, as a standpoint of people that just want to learn muscle memory or whatever the case is and not really think about it. You could try to go into training mode, play around with it, and then see if it works. Or you could just skip into matches if you know, like you can, or if you know you could do the setup or the tech or the combo or whatever, then you can just go into a match and then just try it out from there. It's very important too to watch your replays here and there, whether you do it all the time or not, because you're gonna know like what your play style is, and you're gonna know like what you do in certain situations. And I think that's very beneficial, because if you know exactly what you do, like let's say at this range or when the opponent is on ledge, I tend to dash attack, let's say. So if I know that, and then I watch someone else like Shogun or whoever, and they're doing something else like going in for a grab or whatever, then that's something you can keep an eye on. Like, okay, I always dash attack when my opponent's in the corner, and this guy is using a different option. Then you want to try that out and see if it works for you. You know what I mean? Because especially if they're a professional player like Shogun or Esam, MKLeo, Samsora, Tweak, whatever. You see them do something, and you must think, okay, it must work, right? Because they're a professional player, they know how to play the game, and then you can kind of take it from there. And always think like, why are they doing this? What is it covering? And, you know, kind of decide, should I try it? Should I not? And then, you know, that's pretty much it. So again, watching your replays is very important because of that, because you're gonna notice what you're doing different from other people. And it doesn't have to be pro players either. It could just be someone that's the same level as you, or you know, or even less. You can even, if you're better than someone, you could still learn off of them as well, because you're gonna notice, okay, this guy keeps making this mistake, I'm gonna make sure I never make this mistake. You know what I mean? So as an example, let's say like every time I get off ledge, I always roll, and that's something that like people can get punished for very easily. So you can kind of keep it in mind that, okay, this is an option that I have that I can do, but you know, I can add it into my play style and just use it as a mix-up, or maybe I think it's a really good option that I should just start using more often, and going from there. And you also want to be open-minded too. You can't just think like, okay, dash attack is always the option for Snake. Every time I come in, I should just keep on dash attacking. You know, or even like a Pikachu or whatever. Like, let's say, oh, I just want to keep on back airing or nairing or whatever. Like, these moves are strong, but you also want to be mindful that it's not always going to be the best option or the right option or whatever the case is. So that's why you need to be open-minded, because if you see someone using a move that you generally don't use, you want to think, okay, this move, this character keeps landing on it. And I'll give you an example of it. I hate Nair. I hate Snake's Nair. It doesn't really have a strong disjoint besides Nair 4, and it loses to a lot of other options. But when I watch someone like Dio or Shogun Omar or anyone like that, and they're using neutral air and it's landing and it's working, you have to think, okay, why is this move working? When I believe personally this move does not work, and I think this move sucks. So you have to look at the footage, how they're using it, understand why they're using it, and then going from there. And as an example, like I said, I hate Nair. I think the move sucks. It doesn't have a disjoint, or whatever. But when I watch those players use it, I have to think, okay, why? You have to think like, why are they using it? And you know, you come to the conclusion after watching it. You know, they're looking into either them dropping shield to get hit by, you know, one of the 4 hits, or 2 or 3 or the 4 hits or whatever, or you're trying to call out a jump. If they're gonna jump and use an aerial or just jump in general, then the neutral air is going to cover that option and hit them, right? So then you can understand, okay, they're using it for this reason, and I have to decide, okay, I can keep this in the back of my mind just as an option, or I could just try to use it more, or just believe that, you know, you don't want to use it. And that's the same thing for any other character. You know, if you believe that, you know, this move is not good, and then you watch someone else use it, then you have to understand why are they using it, and so on and so forth, like I just mentioned earlier. But other than that, that's like primarily how you want to maximize your training. And again, with the whole training mode, you know, some people are just more gifted than others, and, you know, can pick up on things much more quickly. I personally like to go the training mode route. I feel that's the best option for me, and you know, everyone has their own other opinions and other options that they like. But yeah, just doing that would help for me. I tend to watch replays of myself just to understand my play style. Then I watch a professional player, or anyone else rather, that uses the same character as me, and then try to understand, okay, they're using this move while I don't, or they're doing this in this situation and I don't, and then just trying to understand, like, is it good, bad, should I try, should I not, and then going from there, going to training mode, trying it out, going into a match, trying it out, and then making a final conclusion, and then just starting all over again. Other than that, that's pretty much all I have to say. I really hope this helps you guys out as far as maximizing your training goes. Again, like and subscribe to the channel. I have other social media platforms down below. And other than that, I will see you all on the next one, guys. Thank you all for watching. Bye now.
Never duplicate you, never multiply too. Everyone copy and paste, mask all up in on their face. Disney fantasy MPH, they are cool with their complacent. You feel it in you, then you brush it off you. Insignificant, but you got something we want, and your whole life is a taunt, cause you will not just comply. Waking up for your day.